Hello there. Hi. How's everyone doing this evening? I'm so glad you came out this evening, took some time to participate in this wonderful presentation. First, I want to thank the Black Small Business Association of California. Selena Pryor, you've done a fantastic job, and your team in putting this together. The Black Small Business Association of California is a professional organization focused on providing advocacy and resources to address the needs of small businesses, particularly independent contractors, micro businesses, and pre-emerging businesses. We understand 90% of Black businesses are micro businesses and unique for their needs. So we're excited about being here today. So Selena is going to be running the slides for me. I put a presentation together, and as I talk and present, she's going to go from slide to slide. And as you can see, this is the Black Small Business Association of California out of Sacramento. And this program is called TAP, the Technical Assistant Program 2.0. And again, thank you, Selena. I don't know, Selena, if you have anything you'd like to say? Okay, so let's move
usually.
on. Okay, we'll move on. So as we go to the next slide, this is our first week. This is the very first week that we're going to talk about some of the needs of our startup businesses and small businesses. So this is week one. So week one, we're doing planning, prep, and pinpointing a vision and a mission. So we're going to talk about that today. Look at week 2 and 3, mapping reality. Week 4, brainstorming marketing strategies. Week 5, writing a business plan. So important. So important. Week 6 and 7, financial management. And we're really working on design that week 8. We think we should have a pitch deck competition. So we're working on that, and that's to be determined. Next slide, please. Introduction. So we have a few people who are here present on the presentation, and we have some that's on Facebook Live or any other media live. And feel free to put your name in, your business name, how long you've been in business. It's going to be hard to put a 60-second elevator pitch in there. But if you'd like to put that in the chat room, please do so. But otherwise, the people that's on right now, I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself. Tell me the name of your business, how long you've been in business, and if you can give me your 60-second elevator pitch.
Hi, my name is Raymond Kemp, and I am the owner of Kemp Design Systems. We are a tech solutions company, and my 60-second pitch is basically we solve everyday problems to everyday annoyances for people with technology.
Okay, thank you. I need you every day. Okay, thank you for the introduction. Anyone else like to introduce themselves?
Awesome. So I am Stephanie Hopkins, and my business name is DTW Investors. We are a financial firm that constantly looks for opportunities to help either small businesses or well-established businesses capitalize on their current assets, financial assets, that is.
Wow, fantastic. Much needed. Much needed. Okay. Do we have anyone else that'd like to give them their name and pitch?
I'm managing the chat.
Okay, and Selena's managing the chat. So we're going to move on to the next. Well, you know what? Before we go to the next slide, my name is Patricia Click, and I'm the owner of Ventures Click Ventures. And I've been in business for almost 10 years. And what I do, I provide technical assistant training for small businesses, and I help small businesses as needed. I'm excited to be here, and I genuinely like helping. Thank you. Next slide, please. So the why. When you talk about starting a business, it's really the why. Why do I want to start a business? Do I want to start a business because everyone else is starting a business? Do I want to start a business because I think I have something to bring to the table? So the why is very important. So answer that question for yourself. Why do I want to start a business? Do you realize running a business is a huge commitment? It takes a lot of work, and it's going to require more time than you give on a 9 to 5. Because if you run your own business, 5 o'clock doesn't do anything but mean break time, because you're back at it at 6 o'clock, sometimes working till 11 or 12 o'clock at night. But it is rewarding. There's multiple steps to starting a business. We're going to talk about a few of those. And then before you start your business, please make sure you do extensive market research. to understand if there's a market out there for your product or your services. Next slide, please. So getting started. So you want to break into entrepreneurship. How does that sound? Well, that's great, but know that it's not an easy feat. And I just kind of talked about that. There are many steps to prepare yourself to embark upon this journey. And once you started, many more steps to maintain your business. This workshop is designed to give you some tools to start, to grow, and things that you should be proud of. Now, on the very first slide that we saw with the schedule of all the activities for the next upcoming weeks, there's a lot of information that you're going to be able to gain there. We only have 30 minutes. How much can you get in 30 minutes? But if you come next week and the week after and the week after, then that becomes hours. And then you're going to get a lot of knowledge to help you. I'm going to also give you some references, some places you can go to get some additional information to help you as you grow your business. At the end of this workshop, you'll be able to understand the importance of a mission and a vision statement for your business. What's your mission? What are you trying to accomplish? What's your vision for your company? What problems are you trying to solve? What's your value proposition? Why is a business plan important? And again, to find some free resources. There's some that cost, but we're going to find some free resources for you as well. Okay, so I'm excited. Everybody excited? Yes, thank you. So next slide, please. Okay, now I want you to know one of my resources for putting this presentation together was the SBA.gov website. I don't know if you've been to it before. I strongly suggest you should go to the SBA.gov website, put in small business, and there's a lot of information there. So much information, it's going to take you weeks and weeks and weeks to read it all. But these are the 10 steps they posted to start a business. Conduct your market research. Determine there's a market for what you're trying to sell, your product or your service. Now, the guy who invented the pet rock, or the lady who did the pet rock, I don't know what kind of market research that they did, but because who would have thought a pet rock would take off like it did? But sometimes you have those flukes. So those exist as well, but try to do your market research. Writing a business plan. A business plan is the roadmap to success. It's not just for a lender or investor, it's for you. It's for you to know how you plan on operating your business, because you took the time prior to the business to document, without being the pressures of the day-to-day, hustles and bustles of your business, to document your plan. So when something comes up and it faces you that you have to deal with, you go to your plan. What did I say I was going to do? And you do that, you execute it. Now, we might have to go back and revise, do some revisions on our plans. And that's okay, but make sure you have a business plan. Now, you have to fund your business. I don't care if the funding comes from your own personal bank account, or if you make a loan or someone invests, it has to be funded. And then when you get those funds, you need to make sure you know how to manage those funds. And then we have people like Stephanie right there that could probably help you out in managing those funds. You want to pick the right business location. So some might say, I want a brick and mortar. Well, that might be nice and jazzy to have, but do you really need a brick and mortar? Is that a cost and expense that you could avoid? Perhaps you better running your business from home, or perhaps you need a mobile unit to run your business. Whatever you pick to run your business, think it through, and not just because you want to have an office somewhere that people can come in, because you might not even have traffic. So really think about your location for your business. And we learned during this pandemic that a lot of businesses can be ran from home, in your garage, mobile devices. And so be very careful before you go out and invest in renting, because rent is really high everywhere. And do you need to incur that expense? Number 5, and you don't have to do these in this order, except number 1 is definitely number 1 and number 2. So number 5, choose a business structure. You're going to be an LLC, you're going to be an S Corp, a C Corp. You want to understand all the differences of those, the liabilities that are associated with it. So how do you find out? You do your homework, you do some research. Now, I'm not recommending this, but I went to LegalZoom because I didn't know. I said, let me go to LegalZoom.com. I'm going to pay a little money, but I'm going to learn about business structures and which one's the best for me. And so I did that, and now I am currently an LLC. So do your homework, reach out. Don't just do it because someone else says do it. Don't just do an S Corp because someone says you don't have to pay the $800. Don't not do the LLC because it is $800, because it has some liability implications. So know that as well. Now, choosing your business name, you got to choose a business name. So I didn't do good with that when I chose my business name, because you want your business name to be kind of tied to what you're doing if you possibly can. So research the right business name for your business before you choose it. And then, of course, you have to go out there and make sure that no one else is using that name. But be very careful about choosing your business name, because when people do a Google search, if you have something about, the name of your business for the services or product you provide, it kind of links you and puts you in the list. Now, I'm not going to say if you're going to be high or low on that list, but you will be in that list. You want to make sure you register your business. You want to make sure you get your federal and state identifications. You want to apply for any licenses or permits that you might need, and you want to open up a bank account. I was just talking a little while ago about during the pandemic, when a lot of businesses were trying to get loans and grants, that a lot of them didn't have a separate bank account for their business. It was commingled with their personal bank account, and they weren't able to get a loan because of that. So if you have a business account. This is not a hobby. If it's a hobby, then it's totally different. If it's a business, have a business account. And if in fact you need some of the funds from your business account, depending on how you structure it, you can do owner's draw. You can draw from that account, but you have a business account to show the legitimacy of your business. So I highly recommend that you do that. So these are the 10 steps on the SBA website that they suggest that you consider first as you're getting ready to start a business. Number one, again, determine there's a market out there for what you're trying to sell. Okay, next slide, please. So launch your business. Make sure you have all the necessary legal documents to run your business. Again, during the pandemic, when we were asking for certain legal documents to try to get loans and grants, a lot of people didn't have their documents. So make sure you have it. So whoever does your business structure for you, look it up yourself. Don't count on everyone else to give you information. They'll tell you something. They need you to do your own homework and research to make sure that you have it. So now we're going to talk about 7 other things here. We're going to talk about picking your business location. We talked a little bit to that a few minutes ago. You want to make sure you pick the right location. So let's say you decide to get a brick and mortar. So where's that brick and mortar going to be? I don't want to pick a brick and mortar in a certain location just because the rent is cheap. There's something that came up in the chat. Just because the rent is cheap, you want to pick the right brick and mortar, the right location. And also, too, you want to know what's going on in that neighborhood. And the way you're going to know what's going on in that neighborhood is by participating in city council meetings to see what they're talking about. Maybe they're getting ready to build something there. Maybe they're getting ready to take a 2-way street and turn it to a 1-way street. You want to make sure you stay abreast of all the things that's going to happen around your business location if, in fact, you decide to get a brick and mortar. I'm going to pause for a second, and I'm going to look at Jill Bernard. She put something in there. And cost, for example, LLC is $800 per year. Yep. Temporary free, I believe, until a certain date of, that's what I understand as well, Jill. Exactly what you just posted there. Thank you for sharing. Again, we talked about your business structure. What do you want to be? You want to be a limited liability company or S Corp or C Corp? Whoever you work with for that, you need to have that conversation so you can make sure you choose the right one. Because the last thing, again, you want to structure one way and then determine later on you perhaps should have structured a different way. Choose the business name. We talked about that a few minutes ago. Registering your business, your tax ID, your permits, and open up a bank account. All those things are very, very important in starting a business. And I want to say it twice. I need to reinforce, and I might say it again. Make sure these things are considered as you start opening and considering your business. Next, please. Manage your business. Okay, so now you opened your business. You got everything set up. You did the checklist. You're proud of yourself. You pat yourself on the back. So now you got to manage this business. Okay. Now you got to be here day by day, every day, managing your business, managing your finances. And again, we have Stephanie here that can help you with that, managing the finances. You got to hire people. So how do I hire people? Do I hire them because they're my cousin or my sister or the friend down the street? No. You want to hire based on skill sets, based on experience. You want to make sure you know how to interview. For many, many years, I used to work for a major utility company, and I was a senior manager, and I did a lot of hiring. And years ago, when we used to hire, we says, well, tell me how wonderful you are. And everybody can tell you how wonderful they are. Everybody brags about themselves. But then we changed the way that we ask the questions. We say, you know what? We don't want everyone just bragging on themselves. We want you to give us an example of something that you did that's similar to what I'm going to hire you for, and how did you respond in those situations. So there's definitely hiring techniques before you hire, and of course salary is something you have to consider as well, but make sure that you research that as well. Again, you got to pay taxes. We all have to pay taxes, so you continue to keep that in mind as you do your budgets. We want to stay legally compliant. We want to make sure we always are compliant and following the rules. We want to buy our assets and our equipment, make sure we have the right ones, find the deals when we can. We want to look at our marketing plan, because in our business plan, we're talking about all this stuff. We're talking about how we're going to manage our finances. We're talking about how many people we're going to hire. We address taxes. We talk about staying legally compliant. We're talking about the assets and the equipment, and then depreciation, et cetera, et cetera. Then your marketing and sales. How am I going to market? Am I going to use Zoom? Am I going to use social media? Am I going to use a bench stop? What do you call it? A bus stop? No, what do you call a bus bench stop? What are you going to use to do the marketing? If in fact you get a project that you're going to have confidential data of someone, cybersecurity is very, very important. You want to make sure, and also too, you want to make sure that you prepare for emergencies. We know because of the pandemic, a lot of people weren't prepared for emergencies. They didn't have a contingency plan. They didn't know how to pivot in a disaster. I know a lot of major utility companies had, matter of fact, I participated in a test run of a pandemic at the company I used to work for. But we didn't put a lot of emphasis on the pandemic. We put a lot of emphasis on earthquakes and fires and floods. The pandemic, we had some things in place, but we didn't think it was going to happen. So it did happen. So plan for the unexpected, for preparing for emergency, and again, strengthening your cybersecurity. Do we have any questions so far? I know I'm just rattling on and talking. Do we have any questions? And I'm going to take a sip of water real quick too. No questions?
I have a question. Well, not a question, more so a comment. We get a lot of people who they say they're in business, and they're probably making money, but they are not legitimate. They don't have a business license. They don't have a business bank account. I just want you to talk for a moment about how important that was during the pandemic, and how many people actually really lost out because they didn't have the basics down, and why it's so important to have the basics.
So it goes back to right here in the blue, stay legitimate. You got to stay legitimate. So if you're doing things and you're acting like you're running a business, but you don't have the necessary paperwork, you're really not legitimate. You're really it's really a hobby. And so when opportunities come up where you might be able to get a loan or get a grant, as they came up during the pandemic, I'm sorry, you are not prepared for it. You cannot get any of those dollars because they're for legitimate businesses that they can verify. So, I think a lot of people learned, and if they didn't learn, they know now that if in fact you are a legitimate business, you need to register yourself as such so you can benefit from things that are available for you, and you can just be legitimate. We all want to be legitimate. So just try to be legitimate. Make sure you register your company, and so you can benefit from some of the things that are out there for you. There's tax write-offs. There's all type of benefits to be legitimate. But some people, they start off not being legitimate. They were successful. They start making money. And then they says, well, what's the point? Well, the pandemic showed them the point. Okay. Did I answer your question? Okay. Thank you. So I'm ready for next. So you started your business, you did all those things, and then you're operating your business and you're running really well, and you might need some more money. You got to get some funding. We're going to talk about startup costs. You need to get some money. There's a lot of places out here for funding. CDIFs, community development, CDFI, financial institutions. There's a lot of them out there that are willing and ready to give small businesses loans, but you have to have all your necessary paperwork in order And you have to demonstrate that by a business plan that you know how to operate and how to manage those funds. So there's a lot of money out. A lot of people say, "Oh, there's no loans out there. There's no, no finance." Yeah, there is. You got to be ready for it. You can't come up there and not be prepared and think you're going to get a loan, because you're not going to get a personal loan not being prepared. So a business loan is important as well when you try to get funding. And if we go one way and we don't find any funding, we go to another way. There's a lot of people out there that want to fund small businesses. After a certain point, you might want to expand your business. You've done very well, you managed it well, and you're like, you know what? Hey, I can do a new location. Step back, look at it, assess it, and determine whether or not you need to start another location. Look at all the benefits, location, and then make that decision. You might want to merge or acquire another business. Again, you're going to do your homework on that as well. And you might want to become a state or federal contractor and get certifications. And that's another story in itself. There's a lot of certifications out there in California. I'm going to read a couple of them here. So we have the Supplier Clearinghouse. They do certifications free for WBE, Women Business Enterprise, MBE, Minority Business Enterprise, LGBT, Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, Transgender Enterprise, and LGBTBE, again, Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, Transgender Business Enterprise. And those are the ones that you can get from the Supplier Clearinghouse, and they're free. So you need to apply, read the terms and conditions, make sure you're eligible, and apply. Now that process is probably about 45 days as a norm. So next one, DGS for California. They have the small business, the micro small business, disabled veteran, and the DVBE, the Disabled Veteran Business Enterprise. Again, that's free. Now this certification is kind of like a self-certification. You can do this one in 2 hours. So you go online, you register, you answer the questions, upload the documents, and you pretty much get certified within a couple hours or less. Then you have, California Unified Certification Program, CUCP. They do the DBE certification, Disadvantaged Business Enterprise. Again, that's free as well. Then you have the 8A Business Development Program, also free for small businesses, 51% owned and controlled by U.S. citizens. Then you have Hub Zone certification. It's done by the SBA. That's free. You have Women-Owned Small Businesses by the SBA. That's free. You have Disabled Veteran certification by the SBA. That's free. U.S. Department of Veterans has a VOSB. That's free. Then you're going to go into some fee-based. The Women's Business Enterprise National Council, they also do the certification for WBE, but that's a fee-based certification. And the reason being is because then you're putting a database, a nationwide database, and there's other benefits of paying them to get that certification. The Women Business Enterprise, that's a fee that you could get from the CPUC for free, but CPUC does not put you in a national database. And then you have the National Minority Supplier Development Council that they help with MBE, and then there's a cost associated with that as well. So there's a lot of certifications out here. And look, here's some more. The National LGBT Chamber of Commerce, they have a certification as well, and it's a cost associated with that as well. So there's a lot of certifications out here. And besides the ones that I just read for the state of California, some cities have their own certification that gives you advantage points when you bid for opportunities within their cities. Is there a list of certification? Yes, there is, Jill. How are you again? If you would go on the Supplier Clearinghouse, let me see if I can find that. The Supplier Clearinghouse or the Public Utilities Commission, and you ask for certifications in a search, then they will send you to a list. It's a list of certifications in California. So yes, it's on their website. Next. So we started the business, talk about starting, but we didn't talk about money. It takes money to start a business. You're going to have some startup costs, and you're going to have ongoing costs. You're going to need office space and equipment and your communications, utilities. And again, when you get your license and permits, there's a cost. You're going to have to get insurance. You might get one type of insurance, your general liability or professional liability insurance. But then if you get a contract with someone else, they might require more insurance, so you might have to increase it. But there's cost for insurance. You might need a lawyer or accountant. You need, of course, money for your inventory, your employee salaries, your advertising and marketing, your market research, printed materials, making a website. And these are just a few things that you're going to be paying for because there's a lot of money that you're going to need to start your business. Okay, next, please. I probably should stop. Let me stop there. Any questions up to this point? Any other questions? Okay. So you have your business, you're ready to start your business, you're excited, you did your research, you got your funds, and he says, okay, what is my vision for my business? Your vision statement is what you plan to do with your business. What is your business known for? A vision statement details where the organization aspires to go. A good vision statement should be short, simple, specific to your business. So again, you want to do your homework and research. What's a good vision statement? Shouldn't be too long. That's the vision for my company. And then you kind of look at some other vision statements that companies have written, and you go like, oh, that makes sense. That's why they want to inspire athletes around the world. That's Nike. That's their vision, to inspire athletes around the world. It's a little bit more verbiage to it, but that's the vision they have. Then you want to talk about the next one is your mission statement. A mission statement defines the organization's business, its objectives, and how it will reach these objectives. It is a core short summary of an organization's core purpose, focus, and aims. So that's what I want to give my customers. My mission to give my customers whatever. That's what my mission is. This is what I want to do for my company, and this is what I want to do for my customers. So I really strongly suggest everyone look up a vision and mission statement because that's important, and it belongs in your business plan, which we'll talk about, I think, is week 3. I hope you can join us. Okay, next, please. So, SBA website, sba.gov. It has samples of business plans, but it also has what's called a business canvas. In this canvas, it's kind of like a sheet that you just use to just jot down some thoughts and ideas. And these are the sections. Who are going to be your key partners? You write that down. Okay, this company's going to be a key partner. This company's going to be a key partner. This is the audience I'm looking for. What are some of the key activities? Oh, we're going to be doing this and that. What are some of the resources? What's our value proposition? What's my customer's relationship? My customer segments. Where are my customers? What are the demographics of my customers? How can I find them? What's my cost structure? And what are my hopefully they're multiple revenue streams? I got money coming in all these different ways, and hopefully that's so. But I want you to go on SBA.gov, look at the business model canvas, and use that as a brainstorming document for you as you're developing your business, because eventually you got to go write a business plan, and all this is going to go inside of your business plan. Okay, next, please. Here's some other free information of data and trends. You have general business statistics, consumer statistics, demographics. These are all links. Look at that, just links after links. Economic indicators, employment statistics, income statistics, money and interest rate, production and sales statistics, trade statistics, statistics on specific industries. There's a lot of information out there free to help you as a business owner. Use those resources, get this information, and do your homework. Basically, do your homework. Next, please. Here's some more resources. Now, Ibis World costs, and one at the top, it costs, but it is well known as the be-all and do-all research tool. So you can Google Ibis World, you can learn a little bit about it, but it's very comprehensive for your research, but there's a cost associated with it. I use city data most of the time.com for demographics. And a lot of people use SurveyMonkey, Alexa, census.gov, or have SurveyMonkey up there twice. Uh-oh, typo. Okay, so I will correct that. So, but yeah, these are your resources for you to go in and do some research. Now, you can talk about demographics, but then you want to talk about psychographics. So, okay, I found the people who are age 20 to 30, if that's my audience. But now, how do they think? You want to know that. I know gives psychographics, but I understand there are other tools out there for psychographics. I don't know where they are, but I haven't been able to find any that it's not a cost associated with it. So I use IBISWorld when I go into psychographics. But you want to find out, how a person thinks to know if, in fact, they would be one that would be an audience for you to try to reach for your product or your service. Next, please. So we have some homework. Now, I don't know if you're coming back next week or not. You might come back, you might not come back. But whether you come back or not, hopefully you got enough today to go out and do some research, and you're going to write your mission and your vision statement. You're going to understand the industry you're in. You want to, and again, your market research, the industry that you're in, you want to look at the trends of the industry, because if the industry is going up, you're like, oh, okay, I can get on board. If the industry is going down, like, oh, maybe I don't want to do that one at this time. Maybe I want to do something else. But please do your homework before you start into a business. I wasted thousands of dollars when I started my business. I thought I knew more than what I found out later that I knew. I didn't know as much as I thought I'm a little better now, but I didn't do my homework. When I started my business, I just jumped right in. So next, please. Please do those things. These are the sites. See those addresses there? You can screenshot this if you'd like. It's going to have the business canvas. You see the first one, the business model canvas that I talked about. The second one is going to actually have some samples of business plans, because you're going to need one. You're going to definitely need a business plan, and we're going to talk about that in a couple of weeks. So, and again, I cannot stress enough how to go on the SBA.gov website. Next slide, please. Uh-oh, we're at the end. Okay. So any questions or any questions? This is Q&A section. Anyone have any questions at this time? Okay. If you notice here, that's my contact information. Feel free to contact me. Feel free to contact Selena to ask any questions. Again, if we don't know the answers, we'll definitely find out for you. And as you see, consultations are available. So there's free consultations. If you find out, I wanted to work on this, or Pat covered something I need some more help on, I'm available. And the schedule is posted on your website, on our website, to tell you when we're available to answer any questions that you might have. I am happy you came out this evening. You took the time to join us. I'm happy that I was able to come this evening and talk to you. I hope you learned something. I hope you took something away to put in your toolkit, as we say, to make your business a better business owner. And I say congratulations to you all. And Jill, thank you for interacting today. We really appreciate that. And yes, come on, let's do some one-on-one. I appreciate you. Thank you. And thank you for the comment, Jill. Thank you very much.
Thank you. This was very informative. Thank you so much.
You have one question. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead.
Okay, Jill. So mine, let me turn around. I have to do this every time somebody asks me what mine is. I have to take it off the wall back here. I took it off the wall the other day and tore it. So my mission statement for my company is VCV, companies called Ventures Click Ventures, is to develop and deliver sustainable solutions to address the client's business challenges. So that's my mission. My vision is to make sure I work with each client with integrity. Short, to the point. But Jill, if you'd like to do a one-on-one consultation, I would love to work with you. And we get on the internet, and we'll, kind of go around and look at a lot of things, and, kind of help you out wherever your needs might be.
Jill, you can contact, I call her Dr. Pat because she's so knowledgeable. So I had to give her a title.
The
You
title.
can contact Dr. Pat. I'm scrolling her information below. I'm also going to scroll her email again on the ticker. But you can also schedule a consultation for you can schedule a consultation on the BSBA website. You can contact Dr. Pat directly, or you can go through the BSBA website and also schedule with her. That way, and we will make sure that she gets it. So, oh, she says, thanks, sure, would love to learn what that entails. So thanks so much.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna learn a
Thank
lot. You're gonna
Looking
learn a
forward
lot. You talk to her, you're gonna leave like, oh my gosh, I got 50 pages of notes.
Looking forward to it. And I learned, we learn from each other. You know, I learned a lot of things I learned from my clients, or they ask me a question, I don't know the answer, and I start researching. That's how I learn. You know, I'm excited. I just get excited.
Lifelong
Let me calm
learners.
myself down.
Lifelong learners, lifelong learners.
Lifelong learners, yes.
Thank you
Yes.
so much for doing this workshop. So Dr. Click will be doing most of our workshops for our startup entrepreneurs. So we have 2 tracks. We have one for existing businesses, and we'll also have one for startup entrepreneurs. And that's where you will see Dr. Click on most of these. So thank you all for joining us tonight. You want to have any last words?
You were
Dr. Click?
awesome. Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. I enjoy it. My heart is truly here with small business owners, and I just keep coming back every time they show up. I'll be here.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
VP,
Thank
you got anything to say? You grinning like you got something great.
Yeah, I'm gonna schedule a console. I
Okay,
need to.
let's do it.
I skipped some steps when I was setting up my business, so like I said, I don't know everything. So I'm definitely gonna schedule a console through BSBA.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Look forward. I look forward to you guys.
Miss Jackson, you said thank you. It was great. Was that it? Was that the gist of your comments?
Yes, I think I must schedule a consultation as well. I have
Okay.
some ideas that I want to pursue, and I find myself being a procrastinator because I start thinking about certain things and then I'll procrastinate, and before I know it, time has gone by, but yet these
Yeah.
ideas keep coming back up and resurfacing. So yes, I am going to schedule a consultation, and thank you so much. It was very informative.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. You know, I have a comment I'm going to make, and it's kind of like what do you call this? A quote. And Selena asked me for a quote the other day. So this is it, Selena. It's a cinch by the inch and hard by the yard. If you just take little bitty pieces, the bite-sized pieces, it's easier to be successful instead of trying to do it all at one time. So just take a little by little, little by little. And when we do our business plan class, we're going to talk about that. Don't try to do the whole thing at the same time. No, just take bite-sized pieces, and then you can grow and do a little bit more and a little bit more. Sometimes it might take you months. As you said, Miss Jackson's your name? Miss Jackson? Is that your last name? Yeah. So you're saying all these ideas are coming. Don't let them go to waste. Don't let those ideas go to waste. You know, they come to you for a reason. So let's work together to try to bring them alive.
All right,
Thank
y'all.
you.
We're
Thank
gonna
you
work
so much.
together. We're gonna work
Yes.
together, and we're gonna move
Yes.
forward together. And we hope that you will join us for our next workshop, which is I don't even know when. Go to the website. It has all the information you need. www.bsba-ca.org has all the information you need. And if it's not enough, call us. We'll answer the phone, and we would love, love, love to take care of you. Thank you for joining us, and have a great evening.
Have a wonderful evening.